So it's time to talk about some of the training camp battles for the Indianapolis Colts heading into the 2024 NFL season. You know, it's my favorite time of year. The NFL is just gearing up and getting ready. You have training camp is here tomorrow for me, or today, whenever you're watching this, I don't know. But training camp is here. Preseason starts August 1st. You have the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. I mean, it's just that time of year, man, and I'm super excited. I cannot wait. And even though I do think the Colts are going to be an okay football team, I don't think they're going to be anything special. I think they really struggle in the two most important categories that you probably could struggle in today's football. I mean, that's kind of true, kind of not. But, you look at their ability to stop the pass, to slow down the pass. It's not very good if the defense line isn't going to get home. I mean, our defensive line is absolutely incredible, one of the best in the NFL. I'd say one or two, honestly. Defensive line is one of the best in the NFL. But when it comes to the secondary, the safeties, the corners, other than slot corners, I mean, we don't have too much going for us in that department of a defense. I mean, if our defensive line goes up against a really good offensive line, a top-of-the-line offensive line, I think that our defense could really struggle to stop the pass. I don't really think it matters who the quarterback is unless you get a hit on them early and then you just rile them for the game. There are a lot of different factors that go into that, but hey, if the defensive line can play as good as they look on paper, it should help the very inexperienced, young, and not very appealing secondary that the Colts have. Now, the linebackers, absolutely incredible. Love the linebackers. And then on the offensive side of the ball, of course, passing the football. We don't know what we are going to get out of Anthony Richardson. I'm just going to leave it right there because some of you guys don't like the way I talk about Anthony Richardson. You guys don't like what I think about him. Quite frankly, I don't care, to be honest with you. I see what I see. Anthony Richardson's not the future. I'm just telling you. I know I said I'm not going to talk about this, but, man, I'm telling you, he's very inconsistent. Never had a good passing percentage. And, look, you can say all you want about his work ethic. He's a great person. I'm not saying nothing wrong about that. But when you come to the NFL and just say that the NFL is easier than college and, you barely played in college in the NFL, it doesn't really make too much sense to me. And, the game was a little fast for him in college. Now he's coming to the NFL. Granted, he's had a year. I think him getting injured was good for him, but also kind of showed what kind of player he is, and, I think it's a little bit of foreshadowing. Is he going to be able to stay healthy? He's got to go down when he's getting ready to get hit. He's got to. But that's enough with that stuff. So it's time to get into the video, into the real stuff, what you're here for. And that is the first position battle I have, marked down as a pretty big battle here is Adonai Mitchell versus Alec Pierce. Look, man, Alec Pierce has been a good wide receiver for the Colts. Mediocre at best. It's just an issue of him being consistent. He disappears at times. And other times he has a couple, 2, 3, 4 games where he has 50-plus receiving yards, 60-plus receiving yards in those consecutive games. He's had a couple of really good games. He's had a couple of really nice stretches. But that's all I've seen are flashes, extended flashes. I haven't seen enough from Alec Pierce. I think that he is a guy that you could count on at wide receiver 1 or 2. That's where that is where Adonai Mitchell comes in. Adonai Mitchell ran at 3.34. I believe it was a 3.34. He's so fluid. There's so many great things about him as a receiver. A lot of character concerns. I think those are going to settle down. I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. I think he has all it takes is to be. I think he could be an alpha receiver. I think he could be the best receiver in this team. Now, that's no knock on Pittman. That's no knock on Pittman whatsoever. I just think that Adonai Mitchell has, the ceiling, the sky is a limit for this player. He is very good. He is very fluid, very fast, good hands. There's a lot that I like about Adonai Mitchell. And quite frankly, I don't know if Alec Pierce has what it takes to compete against him and keep his spot as the number 2 receiver. I mean, Downs, you could say he's our second most talented receiver on the roster that we know definitely. But I think Downs is more of a slot guy, although Downs can play on the outside. He can perform on the outside and play good football on the outside. Just he's really good in the slot. He's awesome in the slot, and that's kind of how we look at him. And, he could play on the outside, but slot is his main, it seems like. But Adonai Mitchell, all these guys can play anywhere on the field, which is very important. Keeps defenses on their toes. Don't know where, how they're going to set up, all that kind of stuff. But Adonai Mitchell, I think Adonai Mitchell is really going to blow out of the water come training camp. I think he's really going to put Alec Pierce in his place. Unfortunately, I love Alec Pierce. I watched, guys remember back, the Matt Ryan year. I hate to bring that year up, but Jacksonville. I was there when he caught that game-winning touchdown against Jacksonville. What was it, 34-yard touchdown catch to seal the game that won the game? That was absolutely incredible. I was there. I saw that. But, and he has had a couple of clutch moments, but it's not enough. It's not enough. I mean, we need to see him perform more. He has drops here and then. In the beginning of the year, he was dropping the ball like crazy. As the year went on, he got better, but he still had moments where he dropped the football. And Adonai Mitchell, we'll see. We'll see how this battle pans out, but this is a battle that you need to keep your eye on, a close eye on, because it's going to be a very good battle. But I do think Adonai Mitchell is going to come out on top, and Adonai Mitchell is going to be a superstar for us. Will he be the best receiver on the team? I don't know, because Pittman's that right now, and Pittman he is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Very good route runner. He's come a long way in the route running department. Contested catcher. He does almost everything. He can block. Pittman is absolutely incredible. Love Pittman. He's great. So we'll see what Adonai Mitchell can do. I think he's going to win over Alec Pierce and be the clear-cut number 2 on the outside on the boundary. So then you have Anthony Gold. He's a wide receiver. Ran a, is that a 4.34 I have? Hold on 1 sec. Okay, so yeah, it is a 4.3. It is a 4.34, and that is very fast. For some reason, I was thinking 3 point, something, but that's absolutely insane. 4.35, 4.35 for his 40 time is absolutely incredible. He's very fast, and he's a very good special teamer. We played in college. He was a very good special teamer, and you're kind of sitting there asking, okay, so what is the battle? He's battling into Ashton Dulin. Look, Ashton Dulin has been great. He's been awesome. He's getting a little older. I mean, 27 isn't really that old for receiver. I mean, you still got 3-4 years of good play in him, but get someone younger in there, you give him some competition. Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen are all about competition, and Anthony Gold brings that. He brings a deep threat ability, just like Adonai Mitchell does as well. So we'll see. I think Anthony Gold can just be, a 5 or a 6, and be a special teamer, maybe work his way up. But, it's him versus Ashton Dulin for, kick returner. Or, no, I don't think it was kick returner. I think it was gunner. Ashton Dulin's a gunner. And I think he'd be good. Either one, he'd do a very good job at. He could return it or be a gunner. I could see either one for him. 4.34, 4.39. Very fast anyways. Ashton Dulin, 27, like I said. This is going to be a little battle, nothing to talk about too much here. I do love Ashton Dulin. I think he's a very good person, as all these people are. Ashton Dulin, he's the guy you want to throw in there 2 or 3 snaps a game, let him run deep and just let one loose to him. And sometimes he'll catch it, sometimes he won't. And he's a very good deep threat, a very good rotational deep threat. Then you have Tanner Bortolini versus Will Fries. So Tanner Bortolini, for some reason, I thought he was a center. I think he could be a center. I think he could be the guy that replaces Ryan Kelly in the future. But right now, he is going to be giving Will Fries a run for his money. So Tanner Bortolini, I really like this guy. I think he's got a high motor. He's really, he always looks for work. When I was watching him play at Wisconsin, I watched a couple of games, not too much. I noticed that he's always looking for something to do. He's always looking for someone else to block, and I like that. He's just not standing there. But kind of, a little issue I do have with him is his short arms. He has a very short arms, and if you're going to play in the inside, if you play some of those defensive linemen with those insane wingspans like at the Forrest Buckner or Dale Dangbo, both have very big wingspans, I think it's going to be very difficult for him to get the hands on him and keep him away from his own body, which, once you let a defensive lineman get up there in your pads, it's going to be tough for you to regain your ground. But Tanner Bortolini, I think he's a guy, he's going to come in, he's going to provide some really good competition to Will Fries. Will Fries was pretty good last year. He did a very good job, but I think he's going to continue to take a back seat to Will Fries this year, unless he surprises us and takes it, and then Will Fries maybe takes over for Ryan Kelly after he leaves, because Kelly's going to be leaving pretty soon. He's getting older. He's had a couple of injuries, so it wouldn't shock me if Ryan Kelly's getting ready to settle down and retire from football. So then, after Tanner Bortolini and Will Fries, you have Keaton Slovis and Sam Ehlinger. Keaton Slovis is a very interesting prospect. His freshman year, he was with, I think it was USC. I'm not sure if he played with Pittman or not, but then he went to BYU. Let me double check. I'm sorry. I thought I'm positive when I was looking at Keaton Slovis and where he was. So, Pitt, he was a Keaton Slovis was at USC, Pitt, and then BYU. So a lot of moving around. That's a little worrisome. Especially, you're going from higher schools to lower schools, lower tier schools. It's a little worrisome. But if you look back to Keaton Slovis's freshman year, I don't know if it was freshman or sophomore, the first year that he started, he looked good. I mean, he had a really good first year. Awesome. After that, he was just never really the same. And I'm just wondering, maybe he has a lot of potential, as Shane Steichen or someone sees in him, that maybe he's going to beat out Sam Ehlinger because of that reason. Sam Ehlinger, he's all right. I mean, he's a good third stringer, I guess. But he's a third stringer. At that, Keaton Slovis has high ceiling. Or high potential. I'd rather say high potential than high ceiling because I'm not really sure, honestly. He went from being really good to moving around to multiple schools. So it's something to know and to pay attention to. But Keaton Slovis versus Sam Ehlinger, I think that's something worth noting, worth watching a little bit. Because I could see Keaton Slovis beating out Sam Ehlinger for the third spot. All right, then you have Jalen Jones and Dallas Flowers. So Jalen Jones and Dallas Flowers, both of them were at one point the starting quarterbacks at the beginning of last season. Don't forget Julius Brents was hurt. And Jalen Jones and Dallas Flowers, I mean, they had the really bad moments. They had their okay moments. It's just both of them are very inexperienced. I mean, Jalen Jones has a season under his belt now. And I think that's going to play a big favor in Jalen Jones just because of that, of having that one season, basically playing the entire year. I thought Jalen Jones was okay for the most part. I thought he had some good moments. He did have some really bad moments, of course. He had little to no experience. And Dallas Flowers in the beginning, he had a couple stretches with good plays, but that's about it, man. That's about it. So Dallas Flowers, I think he's going to take the loss to Jalen Jones. I think Jalen Jones is going to be the number 2 cornerback for the year. Now, you could see it switching back and forth depending on how Jones plays. All right, you're playing horrible. Let's try Jones, or let's try Dallas Flowers now. I could see something like that happen. A constant rotation. They're trying to find the guy. And maybe we find some random guy that works out. But Jalen Jones and Dallas Flowers, I think Jalen Jones is going to win it. I don't know if Jalen Jones is a long-term answer, though. Maybe short-term he could be okay. Long-term, no, absolutely not. All right, then you have the safeties. Another battle in the secondary. You have Rodney Thomas and Nick Cross. Look, both of these guys are very hot and cold. Nick Cross and Rodney Thomas both have had very highs. Both have had very lows. Both have had injury issues. But Rodney Thomas, is the first year that he played, he looked all right. For majority of the season, he looked pretty good. I was pretty impressed with Rodney Thomas. Since then, it's been inconsistent. A lot of inconsistencies. Nick Cross just hasn't played a lot. When he has played, he's had good and bad plays, just like Rodney Thomas. After his first year, both are very hot and cold. I really don't know who's going to win this battle, but it's a position battle to really keep your eye on. Nick Cross is a very, very athletic, very athletic player. He's got a high ceiling, high potential, but as we've heard, Gus Bradley's cover 3 system is very difficult to learn. He loves his safety, so both of these guys are going to get a lot of playing time either way, no matter who wins. Because don't forget, Julian Blackmon is like a strong safety now in the box, natural for him. Great spot for him. And I think Rodney Harrison is kind of similar. I think he's in the box kind of a guy as well. But Rodney Thomas versus Nick Cross, it's a coin toss, man. It's a coin toss. All right, and then last but not least, we have Kwity Paye and Laiatu Latu. So, how much of a battle is it? It's kind of in the middle of the road. I think there's a lot of potential for both of these guys. I mean, they both have their strengths, but Laiatu Latu is definitely the more explosive athlete. He's definitely has a better feel for getting around the edge, especially in terms of getting pressure on the quarterback when he's passing the ball, when the other team is passing the ball. So pass rush, that's what I'm looking for. His pass rush moves are much better. They're just more explosive. And look, Kwity Paye, he's very good against the run, and he's dominant against the run. I'd be almost there to say that he's elite against the run. But in the passing game, he's a little more limited. He's not as explosive as Laiatu Latu in the pass rush category of it. And look, Kwity Paye has been solid. He's been good. He's been nothing short of a good player, of a really good player. Like I said, he's got his strength. He's got his weaknesses. But he's been a first-round pick, and he's been playing for a couple years now. So, you know, hopefully Latu being there, that's going to push him even more, because don't forget, Samson Ebukam on the other side was absolutely incredible. And I think I mentioned earlier on in this video that our defense line is awesome. It is awesome. We have so many playmakers, and they are going to play at a high level. One of the best defensive lines in the league, if you ask me. Maybe second behind the Cowboys. But, I mean, Kwity Paye and Latu, it's going to be a great battle. You know, who's going to win? I don't know. Kwity Paye has been in the system a little longer. He's been around a little longer. He's more experienced. So he's definitely going to help Latu, you know, in the run game, too. But I think Kwity Paye is more of a rundown type of guy. And I think Latu is going to be more of a, I think he's going to pass kind of a down guy. That's just how I see both of them. Kwity Paye, he's good in the pass rush. He's good. He's looking great. You know, he was pretty good last year. He was really good. But he's not great. We need that extra oof. We need that extra little explosiveness. And Latu's got that. So I think Latu is going to be that guy that's going to be in the passing downs. Kwity Paye, running downs. And you can mix and match, too. If one's a little tired, put the other one in. They can both do great things. It's just they both have their strengths and weaknesses. But, yeah, man, these are the Indianapolis Colts training camp battles. You know, you have Adonai Mitchell and Alec Pierce, Anthony Gold, Ashton Dulin, Tanner Bortolini, Will Fries, Keaton Slovis, Sam Ellinger, Ronnie Thomas, Nick Cross, Kwity Paye, and Latu. Latu has much higher potential than Kwity Paye. But, hey, it's good that we have a lot of competition around the team. Competition only makes these players better, right? Shane Steichen, Chris Ballard, all these guys are always preaching about competition. It pushes the other guy. It makes him better. Makes him stronger. Makes him work harder. Puts a fire under their butt. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I'm looking forward to training camp. You guys let me know if there's any position battles I missed that you are looking forward to. You know, what do you think about these position battles right here? I love if you follow me along in the comment section. Hey, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where your friends welcome. If you enjoy this video, make sure to like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on so you don't miss any future videos. This is the JDW Sports Talk Show, signing off.